That's certainly one way to initiate first contact, Captain Anderson muttered, watching as the alien ambassador vaporized an entire table of pastries. The crew of the USS Resolute stood frozen, staring at the smoldering remnants. The scent of burnt sugar mixed uneasily with the atmosphere of fear. The ambassador, a towering figure covered in blue scales with multiple eyes, withdrew its weaponized appendage with evident annoyance, fixing its many eyes on Anderson. "Humans of Earth," it declared, "you will surrender and offer tribute to the Galactic Empire, or face annihilation." Anderson maintained a composed demeanor, aware of his crew's eyes on him. He turned to Commander Reynolds, his second in command, who was barely suppressing a smirk. "Commander, it appears our guest isn't particularly fond of our hospitality. Perhaps we should discuss their terms further." Reynolds gave a slight nod, his amusement thinly veiled. "Indeed, Captain. Let's continue this discussion in the war room." The ambassador followed them through the ship's corridors, its many eyes scanning everything with an expression somewhere between disdain and curiosity. Crew members gave the imposing figure a wide berth, whispering nervously. Beneath the tense atmosphere, Anderson could feel a simmering defiance in his crew, a resilience he knew would serve them well. In the war room, they took their seats around a large, now snack-free table. The ambassador's intimidating presence filled the space, but Anderson was resolute. Humanity had a knack for flipping the odds. "You demand our surrender and tribute," Anderson began, leaning forward. "What, precisely, does this tribute entail?" "Your planet's resources, your technology, and your servitude," the ambassador growled, its voice reverberating. "The Galactic Empire tolerates no resistance." Anderson nodded thoughtfully, as if weighing the proposal. "And if we refuse?" "Annihilation," the ambassador said coldly, its many eyes narrowing. Reynolds leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. "That's quite the ultimatum. But humans don't take kindly to threats." Anderson raised a hand to silence him. "What my commander means is that such decisions require deliberation. We will need time to consider your offer." The ambassador paused, its eyes shifting colors in contemplation. "You have one Earth day to decide." As the alien departed, Reynolds turned to Anderson, his smirk gone. "What's the plan, Captain?" Anderson straightened, determination gleaming in his eyes. "We run." Reynolds blinked. "Run, sir. Not the way you think. We'll buy time, warn Earth, gather our forces, and prepare for war. This empire underestimates us." A grin spread across Reynolds' face. "I like the sound of that." The crew launched into action, sending urgent messages to Earth and preparing the ship for battle. Anderson moved among them, offering encouragement and ensuring everyone understood the stakes. As the deadline loomed, Anderson reconvened with his officers in the war room. They had a plan, one relying on humanity's resilience and an element of surprise. When the ambassador returned, its menace palpable, Anderson stood tall. "We refuse your offer. Humanity will never bow to tyrants," he declared. The ambassador's eyes flared. "Then you will be destroyed." Before the words fully registered, the Resolute sprang into action. Shields flared, engines roared, and the ship unleashed its advanced weaponry, striking the alien vessel with precision. "Keep firing," Anderson commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos. The bridge buzzed with focused activity as Reynolds directed their fire. "Sir, their main weapon is charging," Lieutenant Harris called out. Anderson acted swiftly. "Focus all fire on their main cannon. We can't let them fire." The crew's efforts paid off. A massive explosion crippled the alien weapon. Cheers erupted, but Anderson remained vigilant. "Status report." Reynolds scanned the readouts. "Their main weapon is down, but they're deploying fighters." Anderson nodded. "Prepare for close combat. All hands, brace for incoming. The alien fighters swarmed, but the Resolute's defenses responded with precision, cutting through their ranks. The battle was relentless, each side refusing to yield. Shields at 30%, Reynolds warned. Anderson set his jaw. We need to end this now. His eyes swept the bridge, meeting the determined gazes of his crew. They were exhausted and outmatched, but they were human, and that gave them a fighting chance. Commander, get the railguns operational. Target their engines. Let's see how they fare without mobility, Anderson ordered. Reynolds swiftly relayed the command, and moments later the ship's railguns roared to life. The projectiles tore through space, striking the alien ship's engines with devastating precision. Direct hit. Harris exclaimed, "Their engines are offline." A faint smile tugged at Anderson's lips. Good. Now let's finish this. The Resolute closed in, its weaponry unleashing a relentless barrage. Explosions ripped through the alien vessel until it was left adrift, a lifeless hulk. Cheers erupted on the bridge, but Anderson stayed vigilant. Stay sharp. There could be more of them out there. As the crew returned to their stations, Anderson gazed into the vast expanse of space. This was just the beginning. The Galactic Empire had made a grave miscalculation in underestimating humanity, and they were about to learn just how determined humans could be. Set course for Earth, Anderson commanded. We have a war to win. The Resolute turned and sped home, leaving the wreckage of their first victory in its wake. The message was clear: humanity would never surrender or back down. Upon docking at Earth's main space station, Elysium, the crew found the planet abuzz with preparation for the impending war. Stepping off the ship, Anderson was met by Admiral Cole, a seasoned officer with a hardened expression. Captain Anderson, Cole greeted with a curt nod. Welcome back. Your report was eventful. Anderson returned the nod. Admiral, the Galactic Empire isn't to be underestimated. Their firepower and technology rival ours, but we've shown them humanity won't roll over. Cole's lips twitched into a brief smile. Indeed. Let's discuss further in my office. Inside, Anderson and Reynolds recounted the encounter with the alien ambassador and the subsequent battle. Cole listened carefully, his face unreadable. The Galactic Empire's terms were clear, Anderson concluded. Surrender and serve, or face annihilation. We chose to fight. Cole steepled his fingers. Good. The Council has decided we will not surrender, but we need a strategy. One victory won't stop them. They'll return stronger than before. Reynolds nodded. We need to strike where it hurts, find their weak spots and exploit them. Cole agreed. Intelligence suggests their strength lies in their central command structure. If we can dismantle that, we can cripple them. Activating a star map, he pointed to a planet deep in enemy territory. Primus. Heavily fortified, but the nerve center of their operations. If we can infiltrate and eliminate their leadership, we might stand a chance. Anderson studied the map. That's a bold plan. We'll need the best team for this mission. You'll have them, Cole assured. But remember, this is high risk. Failure is not an option. Back aboard the Resolute, preparations began immediately. The crew worked tirelessly, upgrading the ship with cutting-edge technology and armaments. Anderson handpicked an elite team, seasoned veterans ready to take on the impossible. Addressing his crew, Anderson spoke with conviction. We're about to undertake one of humanity's most dangerous missions. Our goal is clear: strike at the heart of the Galactic Empire and ensure they never threaten Earth again. I trust each of you to rise to the challenge. Let's show them what humanity is capable of. The crew's resounding cheer echoed through the ship as the Resolute launched from Elysium, engines blazing toward enemy territory. The journey was tense, but focus never wavered. As Primus loomed ahead, the Resolute's stealth systems engaged, cloaking the ship from enemy detection. On the bridge, Anderson and Reynolds watched the imposing planet grow larger on the view screen. Our objective is clear, Anderson reminded. Infiltrate, take out their leadership, and get out. No prolonged battles, we stick to the mission. The Resolute descended into Primus's atmosphere, its cloaking mechanisms masking its presence. The alien landscape below was stark and forbidding, its defenses formidable. But the Resolute slipped through undetected, landing in a secluded area far from the main fortifications. The team disembarked, moving swiftly and silently through the alien terrain. Anderson led with heightened vigilance, navigating the unfamiliar environment with precision. Upon reaching the command center, they encountered heavy security but were ready. Using advanced tech and seamless coordination, they neutralized the guards and breached the facility. Inside, they moved with lethal efficiency, bypassing systems and dispatching any resistance. Reaching the central command room, Anderson's pulse quickened. This was the moment of truth. They stormed the room, weapons drawn, only to find the alien leadership waiting. "You've come far, humans," the leader said with a sly smile. "But did you truly think we wouldn't be prepared?" Alarms blared as enemy soldiers poured into the room. Anderson and his team found themselves cornered, outnumbered and outgunned, but surrender was not an option. "Fall back and regroup," Anderson commanded, his voice steady amid the chaos. "We'll fight our way out." The team fought with unyielding determination, their training and resolve carrying them forward. Anderson's mind raced for a solution. Failure wasn't an option, not when they were this close. "Captain, over here," Reynolds shouted, pointing to a secondary exit. Anderson nodded decisively. "Move. This isn't over yet." The team battled their way toward the exit, each step marked by loss and sacrifice. Anderson's heart ached for those left behind, but he pushed forward. This mission was too critical to abandon. They burst through the exit to find the Resolute waiting, engines primed for a swift getaway. The team scrambled aboard, and the ship launched, racing away from Primus amidst the havoc they had wrought. Anderson collapsed into his chair, exhaustion overtaking him. They had struck a decisive blow, but the war was far from over. The Galactic Empire would regroup and retaliate with vengeance. "This is only the beginning," Anderson muttered, steeling his resolve. The journey back to Earth was tense, every crew member acutely aware of the stakes. Anderson reflected on the mission, their narrow escape, and the heavy cost, and knew the Empire's response would be swift and brutal. The Resolute raced through space, its crew working tirelessly to prepare for the inevitable retaliation. As they neared Earth, a transmission came through. "Captain Anderson, report to the war room immediately." Upon arrival, Admiral Cole ordered. "There's much to discuss." Once docked, Anderson and Reynolds headed to the war room, where an air of urgency permeated. Around a holographic table displaying the galaxy and numerous red enemy markers stood Cole and other high-ranking officers. Captain Cole greeted with a grim nod. "Your mission on Primus was successful in sowing chaos, but the Empire is responding with full force. They're launching an all-out assault on Earth." Anderson exchanged a tense look with Reynolds. "What's our status, Admiral?" Cole's face was set in determination. "We've mobilized every available ship and soldier. Earth's defenses are strong, but the Empire's fleet is enormous. This will be the fight of our lives." Anderson squared his shoulders. "We didn't come this far to lose. What's the plan?" Cole gestured to the map. "We'll intercept them in space, aiming to weaken their fleet before they reach the planet. But the real battle will be on the ground. They're targeting critical infrastructure, military bases, power plants, communication hubs. We must hold these at all costs." Reynolds added, "What about the civilians?" "We're evacuating as many as possible to underground shelters," Cole replied. "But if the defenses fail, there's no guarantee." Anderson's resolve hardened. "We'll hold the line, Admiral, whatever it takes." The Resolute was resupplied and rearmed as Anderson and Reynolds returned to the bridge. The crew's determination was palpable as they prepared for the coming onslaught. "All hands, this is the Captain." Anderson's voice echoed throughout the ship. We face the greatest threat humanity has ever known. But we're ready. We'll fight for our home, our families, and our future. Let's show them what it means to be human. A chorus of affirmations rang out as the Resolute joined Earth's vast armada, prepared to intercept the enemy fleet. The first engagement was brutal, a fierce dance of fire and steel that lit up the void of space. Anderson commanded with precision. Target their lead ships. Disrupt their formation. Reynolds directed the fire, and the Resolute's weapons wreaked havoc on the enemy. Explosions scattered across the void, but more ships took their place. The battle became a desperate struggle. "Captain, we're taking heavy fire," Harris called out. "Hold the shields," Anderson barked. "We can't let them break through." Despite their efforts, the enemy pushed closer to Earth. Anderson reported grimly, "Admiral, they're breaking through. We need to fall back to defend the planet." Cole's voice crackled over the comms. "Understood, Captain. Fall back to the secondary line. We'll regroup and strike back." The fleet retreated in a controlled maneuver, drawing the enemy into a tighter formation. As the ships neared Earth, ground defenses roared to life, creating a wall of firepower. "Hold the line," Anderson shouted. "Don't let them through." The battle raged, unrelenting and chaotic. The Resolute was in the thick of the fray, its guns blazing and shields flickering under the assault. Anderson's focus never wavered, each decision calculated for survival. "Enemy troops are landing on the surface," Reynolds reported. "They're heading for the power plants." Anderson acted swiftly. "Harris, take command of the ship. Reynolds, you're with me." They rushed to the hangar and boarded a shuttle, descending to the embattled surface. Explosions shook the ground as they landed amidst chaos. "Secure the perimeter," Anderson ordered, rifle in hand. "We can't let them take this plant." Reynolds and the team fought fiercely, pushing back the enemy with precision and tenacity. Reinforcements soon arrived, bolstering their defense. "We've secured the area," Reynolds reported. Anderson nodded. "Good. Let's ensure it stays that way." The battle stretched on, each passing minute a test of will and endurance. Slowly, the tide began to turn. The enemy faltered, and the human forces pressed their advantage. "Admiral, we're pushing them back," Anderson reported. "Excellent work," Captain Cole replied. "Keep the pressure on." The final push was a desperate, all-out effort. The human forces rallied, their resolve unbreakable. The Galactic Empire's fleet, battered and broken, finally began to retreat. Reynolds looked to Anderson. "We did it." Anderson surveyed his team, weary but triumphant. "Yes, but we'll ensure they never come back." The battle was won, but at great cost. Earth stood scarred yet unyielding, a testament to humanity's resilience and determination. Back aboard the Resolute, Anderson addressed his crew one final time. "Today we faced the greatest threat we've ever known and emerged victorious. We proved humanity will never bow to tyranny. We are strong, united, and we will always fight for our freedom." The cheers that followed were deafening, a celebration of survival and defiance. As Earth began to rebuild, Anderson gazed at the stars from the bridge of the Resolute. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, ready for whatever lay ahead.